How's it going? Thank you so much for subscribing there, Umberkin. Welcome to the stream. So, oh my god, why does I really need to get, like, maybe for Christmas I can buy myself a Christmas present of one of those lights that makes, the light in this room not look like shit. Or maybe, even better, I can pay someone to, like, get my life in order. I think that'd be great. Really keen to make life work for me, but we'll see. Anyway, how are you going? I hope you're doing well. So today we're going to be working on my latest YouTube video, which is almost done at this point. The main thing that I need to be working on is basically sourcing some tweets, and that's something that I've been putting off because what I'm going to have to source is just people being racist. And I don't know about you, but it's not really what I like to spend my time doing. So I thought, maybe we can all work together as a team. So that way we share the labor. Or otherwise you can just watch me searching Twitter for racism. Which, I'm sure that's going to be a lot of fun too. Okay, so I'm going to put up a thing showing the kinds of tweets that I need. I've got a Twitter thread here that I will link in the comments. And yeah, in that thread, there's like a list of all the stuff that I'm after. But number one, I need to find tweets or articles, like news articles in reputable publications like The Guardian or the New York Times, for better or worse. Those are publications that people look to for facts. Maybe Washington Post as well. They're all American as well. And this is like part of what my video is trying to deconstruct. But anyway, I need to find evidence of politicians or, public figures saying that we shouldn't pay reparations or otherwise compensate victims of colonial violence and slavery because we didn't do it ourselves. So, like, for example, we shouldn't have to pay for the crimes of our ancestors seems to be a common thing that people say. I'm also after examples of politicians or public figures concluding that the reason why formerly colonized nations like those in the African continent struggle with gaining independence is because the colonizers were the only people keeping the countries afloat, or that Western nations somehow manage their wealth better. So that's that sort of misunderstanding that, despite the fact that the colonizing nations have completely disrupted the geographical landscape and stripped it of its resources, they're like, oh, why can't they get themselves back together now that they're independent? It seems like we were the ones doing all, pulling the sleigh? Pulling the... I don't know. You know what I mean. I also need examples of politicians and public figures trying to make excuses for the colonies that have existed. So saying that they were either a good thing or saying that they were, they did more good than bad. So you can't just completely write them off. So, for example, a really common one that, if we can find actual politicians and public figures, trotting out this awkward, untrue phrase about how, the British, the British did a good thing in India because they brought the railways to India, sort of conveniently leaving out the fact that they didn't bring railway infrastructure to India in order for Indian people to be able to make use of the railways. They did it so that they could more efficiently extract resources and remove it from India. And if it happened to benefit the local population as well, then that was just like a byproduct. So these kinds of, I'm looking for oversimplifications of the supposed benefits of colonial regimes. I'm also looking for politicians and public people, just in general, defending people who have been complicit in colonial oppression. So, like Winston Churchill is a big one. Slave owners, government politicians, American presidents, and whatever who kept slaves or were pro-slavery or things like that. Um, but another big one is the Queen, and she's dead. And recently, it's re-sparked the conversation about, what is the monarchy actually for? Is the monarchy just a symbol now, or has the modern monarchy been complicit in this sort of oppression? That's another thing that I'm after. So, yeah, I'm going to try to make it easy for people to help me with all this stuff. So I'm going to copy those tweets as well. Of course I need to pee the moment I start streaming. Typical me. Okay, so here we go. Just copying stuff into a text file, which then I'll display on the side of my tweet thing. I mean, my thing, the thing that I'm using, the web OBS Studio. Jeez. Okay, maybe I can go into OBS now. I'm going to go into Vodeo Games. Oh, geez. Let's open this up so that you can see that, and I'll move this to the side. Okay, so how can I put this text? Let's add some text. Text Decolonization 101. Okay, and let's put the text there. Oh, geez. Oh, that's unpleasant. All right, okay, well, let's just say, oh God, it looks so bad too. Enable anti-aliasing. Okay, why don't I... I'm sorry about this. Gosh, that looks so bad. Jeez. Okay, we'll make that smaller and smaller, and we'll get there. We'll get there, folks, and then we can start the stream. That's exciting. Oh. All right, so it seems like I'm gonna need to what? No. No, that's not all the text. Oh my God, okay, I'm grumpy now. All right, you know what? Let's remove Decolonization 101 because that's garbage. And why don't I just have this on the side of my screen? But then that's quite ugly, isn't it? There has to be a better way. Like, ideally, I'd want it down over here, so that we can actually see, we can have the text and we can sort of keep that up as a reminder of what it is that we're doing. But how can I do that? Because I feel like this is a little bit ugly for one thing, and also it'd probably get in the way. I need a manager, I need a manager for life, for work, for everything. Well, in the meantime, let me know if you can or can't read that text file. Oh, it's hideous. Maybe if I save the file and I put it on desktop as poo, and then if I go back into here and make a new text file and call it poo, and then read from file, go into desktop and then open poo. Okay, no, we've got the exact same issue there. Text transform. Vertical? Oh. Back alignment. Chat log mode. Outline. Let's see what that does. Use custom text extents. What the hell? What happened there? What is that? Oh, I think that's one letter. Okay, we're not going to use the custom text extents. Hey there, Robin the NB. Hey there, my underscore Karuba. You need an anti-executive dysfunction manager. Oh my goodness. Yeah, tell me about it. Honestly, since getting diagnosed with ADHD, my life has made a lot more sense to me and how I work. Background color. What? No, I don't want a different background color. Background, okay. So what's that then? Why is, oh, where's the text? Where's poo? Okay. Oops. Poo. Let me go to transform to fit to screen. I'll center vertically. No. Let's fit to screen. How does anyone do this? All hail the white rectangle. Ugh, sigh. Okay. Now let's remove poo. Can you read this text thing? Should I make it bigger? It's very ugly, I'm aware. Maybe I can change it to a less ugly font. Oh, like Comic Sans. Everyone likes Comic Sans. Okay. So statements that I'm looking for, make it bold. There we go. So let's start with number 1. Actually, no, I want all of it visible at the same time. So maybe we can have it like, okay, I think I have an idea. That, and then, whoop. Let's go looking for a bunch of tweets. How's that? I mean, it's still ugly, but at least it's Comic Sans. So these are the sort of things that I'm looking for. I'm looking for 4 different kinds of tweets or articles or whatever, and I think that we can all work together here to make this happen. So key phrases. Why don't we look up "we shouldn't have to pay for the crimes of our ancestors" and see if anything comes up. Okay, nothing. Must we pay for the crimes of our ancestors? Here we go, like the moment you get rid of the quotes. People/countries. What was that famous? Should a nation apologize? Should we pay? I don't want should we pay. I want people to say we shouldn't pay. But yes, I'm looking for specifically like prominent people. Belgium's Princess Esmeralda says it should apologize. Oh my goodness, for colonial atrocities, but said we are not responsible for her ancestors. So I want to. I've sourced her. We are not responsible for our ancestors. Responsible for our ancestors. She probably said it in French or something, but I want to find her actually saying that. So let's find a good source. royalcentral.co.uk. Oh, personal data. Framing it like a question is better because then no one can say you said anything wrong since you only ask questions. That's very true, very sneaky. All right. Is that Associative Foreign Press or something? 65-year-old princess. That stance. Belgium. No, give me a link. Oh, AFP. AFP. Okay. AFP, AFP. What is AFP? I want to know what the actual quote is. I'm assuming it's like in French, so I don't know if we have any French speakers who are checking up, just asking questions. Oh my god. Wow. Is this AFP? No, it's the same article. I need to, this is like the one time I need to speak French. Princess Esmeralda. What's princess in French? Princess. Yeah, princess. Okay, so let's do it. AFP is a newswire service. Ah. You learned French for a few months now. Your time has come. Yes, yes, indeed. Princesse Esmeralda. Une équipe de l'AFP. I have used their tools. Okay. Is that AFP? Should I go to that website? Is that a different website? It's a French news agency. Yeah, I would like to go to there. Or is this it? Because if so, why is it called DHI? What does AFP stand for even? Who can say? Oh, I really need someone Belgian here. Anyway, if anyone else has is able to source any tweets or newspapers of not just this person but other people. Oh, this article's in French. Based in London. She becomes Okay, so now we need to say, I want, we should not pay for the crimes of our ancestors. Yeah, we must apologize, but not actually do anything like about that. We are not responsible for our ancestors. Apologies are important to then start a balanced relationship, but we're not gonna, give any reparations or anything. I heard we're dunking on royalists and other arseholes today. Yes, we are. Thank you. I shouldn't relish so much in bastardizing the French language. Esmeralda. Princess Esmeralda. Okay. What even is the... Let's find the actual home... Okay, here we go. News Hub. Oh, fuck off. Esmeralda. Top shots of the week. No, that's not what I was looking for. 4 items found. Oh, because it has princess in it. I must be spelling her name wrong. No, I think I'm spelling it correctly. Oh, this is the English site. So... Princess Belgium. Princess Belgium. No, I can't find the original source, so sadly I can't use that, which is frustrating, but that's okay, because there's plenty of other examples. Okay, so... Reject non-essential. Popular opinion. Let's see if there's any... I'm not actually gonna read any... Oh wait, no, this stuff is relevant, but no, I need... I want prominent people. Oh my god, like the annoying thing is that everyone... Oh sorry, that was really loud. Sorry, I've got some Lebkuchen here. Ooh, Robert terms of the Spectator would count, yes. Spectator is a good source for this kind of arseholery. Oh my god. Yeah, like there is a veritable sea of this garbage on, like, from lay people, but I want the big figureheads. Well, being to know. Yep, the US has given reparations to white folks before. No, nothing there. Must we pay for the crimes of our ancestors? Oh my god. We cannot blame French citizens today. Who is that? Ja'atali. Ja'atali.com. Ja'atali. Jacques Attali. Who are you? Special advisor to French President Francois Mitterrand during 10 years. My is getting better, although I think it's a little bit more German than it could be when I'm speaking French. Or I should say pronouncing French, because I don't speak French. Okay, so he might be a good thing. Must we pay for the crimes of our ancestors? I remember watching Triple R because of how whiny his article on it was. Triple R? Red Redemption. Must we pay? I'll just double check. I'll see if he's got a Wikipedia page. Jacques Attali. French writer. Yeah, of course he works in finance. Oh, okay. Never mind. Oh wait, sorry, I'm looking at this one. So let's say, should I blame that young French dentist? Was I, uncle? Okay, we must not fall into another form of segregation in the name of anti-racism. Oh my god, he's totally reverse racisming this. Torturers cannot be blamed for applying the laws of their time. Jeez. Okay, yeah, I think that this person counts. Jacques Attali. I've read enough of that article to see where he stands. Must we pay for the crimes of our ancestors? Sorry, everyone. Okay, so let's go into media. Look at all the media that I'm using for this video so far. Yes, there's a Shrek head. So what can I call this? Apologism. Oh, I've already got a few. Jacques Attali. His framing makes it sound like a bar tab. That's true. Okay, so let's say... So, hey there, the Shreks. How's it doing? How's it going? So we're after Spectator and what's his name? The continent may be a blot, but it is not a blot upon our conscience. The problem is not that were once in charge, but that we are not in charge anymore. Very, very, very somber words. Robert Toombs. Let's look up Robert from a Spectator article by Floppy Bastard Clown Boris Johnson. Oh my god! Crimes of Ancestors. I should probably get that other one. Okay, so Spectator Boris Johnson. Oh yes, please post links. Please, please, please post links. Very much appreciated. You come from Sean. Oh, has Sean sent you? Thank you so much. Oh, oh my god, that's perfect. Oh, it's so bad. Oh my god, thank you. Oh my god, everything, like, oh my god. Former editor of the magazine. Believe me, you blush, you fat white chiefs. Believe me, you blush, you fat white. I don't know how to parse this sentence. That is some choice racism. Believe me, you blush. I should probably read the thing before. Theresa May's new cabinet. No. There should be a full stop here, I think. Oh my god, he can't write very well. Believe me, you blush, you fat white chiefs, at that kind of reception. You feel embarrassed and obscurely ashamed? Obscurely ashamed? Is it possible to be obscurely ashamed? Obscure, as in strangely? Is that meant to be like strangely? Because when I think obscure, I think like in terms of visibility, that something is obscure. I don't know. I shouldn't pick on him too much because he is Boris Johnson. If we were erroneously treated like the Duke of Kent, full stop, and then lowercase I, imagine with what rapture Africa will greet Tony Blair when he descends next week in his big white bird. god. Yeah, sorry, I can't read anymore. How is that guy president of, well, not president. How is he prime minister of England? I mean, I know why, but still, like, I just still can't believe that politicians are allowed to be such bad writers. Boris Johnson. Oh my goodness, this is such a good find. Thank you so much. This is like exactly what I'm looking for. Native English speakers are horrible at English. I'm not gonna get, actually, no, let's keep reading. Okay, let's try to read the whole thing in a Boris Johnson voice. I don't think I've ever heard him speak, so I'm just going to approximate from what he looks like how I think he speaks. Okay, the Boris Johnson. The Boris Archive? The Boris Archive. Africa's a mess, but we can't blame colonialism. You will need a heart of stone not to have been moved by the little AIDS-ridden chorister's nurse. Sorry, I can't do it. I can't do it. What the fuck? Who thinks like that? Jesus Christ, it's like a trip back to like the 1800s. It's like, what the hell? Hey there, Golgito. Boris Archive of Racism's like, I mean, I've heard like little things about him being a racist and all that, but like, oof, it's pretty bad. Like, not just in terms of content, but his grammar is atrocious. Okay. Historian claims portrayal of the British in RRR. Imperialist apology assault on colonial wounds. Someone's not a fan of history. I mean, I don't want everything to come from The Spectator. I feel like there should be a bunch of tweets by popular people too. So we've got like two. Do we have two? No, they're both from the Spectator, right? We've got, let's have a look. We've got apologism. Oh no, that's from Jacques Attali's website. And we've got Boris Johnson. I also have, let's go through these. Empire State of Mind. Why do so many people think colonialism was a good thing? But like, I want more of this one. Queen Elizabeth II was one of the greatest leaders of the modern era. Fox News seems like a good source too. The ignorance of Queen Elizabeth's anti-colonialist critics. Although I didn't capture the actual source. In fact, a figure of such stability was essential to decolonization. Oh my god, fuck you! I need to find the source of that, because, oof. Do we have a racism count? We could totally do a racism drinking game. Can I make a counter? Let's have a look. Let's have a look, because this could be a fun way to help us through this. Let me have a look at Mix It Up. And everyone is looking at how this works. Okay, so counter. Events. Glamesh. Chat. No. Twitch. Twitch channel stream stuff. No. Sorry, everyone's getting a look into the inner workings of my my business here, but that's fine. Overlay widgets. Perhaps that's got a counter in it. Add overlay widget. Let's make a game queue event list. Leaderboard, stream boss, ticker tape, timer. No. Community commands. Top commands. Let's look up counter. Who's that? Dad jokes. Interesting. Death counter. Okay, so hug counter. I mean, win counter. I mean, it is basically a death counter, right? Oh, find raid target. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, roll the dice. No, let's just do that. Sure. I think I already have that as a thing, but a mod needs to do it. How is a stabilizer in any way useful in abolishing something? That's a really good point. I didn't even think about that. Hey there, Birdie. How's it going? We are celebrating the Queen. Daily Mail article. Jacob Rees-Mogg, yes, blasts National Trust for not realizing how wonderful Winston Churchill was after it included World War II heroes' home on woke list of properties linked to slavery and colonialism. Oh my goodness, Jacob Rees-Mogg. What a name. Winston Churchill. Ignores slavery. Okay. Where is... Okay, so this was like a spoken thing, so it's not like something that he wrote, but this works. What an awkward layout for this website. I guess. Oh, it's all my ad blocks. That's fine. I'm just searching like British politician reparations. Ah, that's a really good strategy. Colonizers never lose. Double dipping. They benefit from it, and when surrendering is also their doing. Yeah. Sigh. We would never have been able to establish voting rights for women if it weren't for the Conservatives voting against it. Ah, thank you. Okay, yeah. So apparently everyone can do... So deaths... Just imagine that deaths is racism. Yeah. Unless... Let's go into Streamlabs so you can see the inner workings of Streamlabs. Log in with Twitch. This is fun. Alright, so... A secret look into the mind of a streamer. Not the mind, I don't know. Okay, commands. So we've got death. So can I copy this? Like duplicate it? No. What I'm gonna do, death equals number. Exclamation mark, racism. And then we'll do that. Racisms equals number. Look at that. Look at that. We're doing it. New command. Wait, where's the racism? Where's the racism? Where's it? Ah, okay, yep, so everyone. And then minutes till Cav accidentally broadcast their stream key. Okay, so death plus. So we'll have racism plus. Racisms equals... There we go. And then also death minus. Racism minus. Racisms. Wait. Yeah. Awesome. Give that a go. So let's say racism. Why? Why? Why didn't that work? Okay, so it's just replaced racisms with... minus. So why is racism... I copied that precisely. Maybe racism equals number. Maybe I need to put it like that. Let's try this. David Cameron has ruled out making reparations, no, for Britain's role in the historic slave trade and urged Caribbean countries to move on. Oh, he said, oh yeah, that's another thing, apologism. How Britain is allegedly who ended slavery. Well, we'll leave that there for the time being, and then if someone can figure out how to make that work. Okay, so that David Cameron one. David Cameron. Wait, is he still an MP? David Cameron, off the face of our planet. David Cameron rules out slavery reparation during Jamaica visit. Oh, very sensitive. I'm gonna copy that whole thing and then hopefully maybe I can zoom to that. So there we go. This is fun. I'm glad I decided to stream this because it's a lot more enjoyable to look at racism with friends. David Cameron. Okay, so yep, so politicians. Okay, so I think we've got enough for this one. For number one. We've got some for the Queen as well, and I think that Jacob Rees-Mogg one was that? Oh, I didn't get the Jacob Rees-Mogg one. Whoops. What was that? And why am I here? Oh. What students? Damn. Jacob Rees-Mogg, Winston Churchill. For not realizing how wonderful Winston Churchill was. Thank you, everyone. You're doing wonderful work. The Churchill one will be easy to find more of because there was a whole thing about National Trust daring to acknowledge slavery existed. Oh, the furtive Mogg, so easily forgotten. Cameron was trying to do the current Rwanda camps in Jamaica. Oof. Oh, got something by the critic on how the Royal Navy ended slavery. Thank you. Oh, and thank you for the other one. Let's get, oh, page cannot be found. Oh, okay, that was that one. Cool. The British are so brave. You have a friend who worked at the National Trust at the time. Oh, goodness. Royal Navy in the front line against slavery. Artillery row. Oh, bless. Okay. Wait, I didn't save Jacob Rees-Moggs again. I just Jacob Rees-Mogg, and then it is willfully forgotten. Royal Navy ended slavery. Royal Navy ended slavery. Perfect. Okay, so I think we have enough of that particular type. David Cameron's family actually got money from slave reparations because of how we ended slavery by paying up the slave. Oh, jeez. It's a fun time. Okay. All right. So now we need number 2, politicians or public figures concluding that the reason why formerly colonized nations like those in the African continent struggle after gaining independence is because the colonizers were the only people keeping their countries afloat, or that Western nations somehow managed their wealth better. Which is a common talking point that I've heard. But it's like, you know, when I'm not exactly documenting this stuff when I see it. So unfortunately, it means we're going to have to start from scratch and look for that sort of thing. Ended slavery by doing one last slavery. Okay. So this is our focus right now. So what are the keywords that we can look for here? We need colonizers, Western nations. The West manages wealth better. No, this is just like Western, like companies with Western in it. The West. The West manages resources better. No, this is just business garbage. I'm sort of losing the ability to do like useful searches, which is frustrating. Why is Africa, and I'm just, you know, thinking of it as a country, right? Because that's what racists will do. Why is Africa so far behind? Why is Africa, no, that's an African site. Why has Africa has fallen behind? Because its people have not done this in an organized manner. Seriously? Okay, let's how did Africa get so far? Do you think it's because they Why is Africa still so poor? Because it was robbed. Google is just being philosophical about how colonialism never ended. US here. Was there Ben Shapiro at some point saying Indians could never build anything as nice as the one train station in Delhi without colonialism? Yes! Yes, that happened recently, right? Ben Shapiro, India building. Or was it Elon Musk? Kill all the farting cows. That's all I got from that tweet. Ben Shapiro in India colonization. Yes, colonialism was... Yeah, okay, yes, this is it. I love how into the monarchy American conservatives got after Queen Elizabeth died. You know, like, surely the whole thing about being American is hating the monarchy, right? That's why you staged a whole civil war, right? But like, that's sort of been forgotten because I want to do a racism, you know what I mean? Imagine burning down your neighbor's house and then wondering why they're homeless. I know. That's like, that's exactly it. Trains don't sound too complicated. Sprinting to take it first. Nice. Okay, so let's get this Ben Shapiro, because everyone knows Ben Shapiro. And colonialism was not unique to the British Empire. Oh my god. Oh my god. I hate... like, you know, like, I understand the need to laugh at these kinds of things. It's one of those if you don't laugh, you'll cry sort of situations. But I just don't understand how people get off on being so willfully, like, obtuse about these sorts of things. Colonialism good, Ben Shapiro. There is a study that in Belgium, which I have access to. See if I can find it. It's in Flemish, which makes it a little bit difficult to prove my point in an English language thing. But where is it? Oh no, I think I deleted it. But it's in my in the cloud somewhere. Press Win Shift S and you get a cropping tool. That's right. I always forget that shortcut. I'm gonna. Oh, I don't have a pen. Okay, you'll have to remind me. Not that it's the only problem here, but someone needs to tell Shapiro that free trade was only free for the British. I'm really bad at screenshots, I know. Like, there was a time when I was doing a lot of screenshots, and then I figured that out. But yeah, not today. Oh, they definitely got into the monarchy because the left was against it. Which is, you know, it just shows that it's just, you know, so much of it is intellectual. What's the word? What's the English word when willful ignorance, I guess. You're doing something because, you know, like you're being contradictory or hypocritical in a way that you don't acknowledge because of the fact that, you know, you're basically trying to have your cake and eat it too because you're trying to own the libs. Are we on the precipice of global collapse? Why the hard left is cheering Queen Elizabeth II's death? Oh, jeez. All right. Stop apologizing for our history. Oh, unavailable? Due to legal reasons. Wait, really? Oh, okay. I mean, like, I'm fine with that. Why is small talk even legal? Okay, it's probably got swastikas in it, huh? Okay. There's no reason to cheer for the fact that she stayed in power that long. Okay, so we need more of this stuff. So, talking about post-colonization, post-independence, why is Africa and other places, well, why is the African continent and other places which have been fallen victim to colonization also, like, continue to be lacking in development post-independence? Because there's a lot of the idea that the West is just better at it. Excuse me. But I don't know what to search for. Why don't we do the railways? Okay, so who talks about the railways? There's got to be some... Like, I don't want to keep repeating, because I know Ben Shapiro's probably got takes on this. Who are the other, like, sort of reactionary thought leaders? I don't think Jordan Peterson has weighed in on this because he's too busy on his like anti-trans crusade and talking about how we need to live in a fairy tale land where women are women. Who else is there? Is Thunderfoot still around? And I think Matt Walsh. Okay, yeah, Matt Walsh. Colonization good. Ideological colonization of the globe. Was America built on stolen land? Who's Dave Rubin? That name sounds familiar. I'm happy that this land was conquered. There we go. I'm happy. Matt Walsh. I'm happy that this land was conquered. Oh my god. It's an immeasurably better place now than it would have been had Europeans never showed up. I'm proud of our history and grateful. I will never apologize for it. I will celebrate our heroes and laugh in your face when you cry about it. Whoa. You feast on the bounty while denigrating the men who provided it to you. You ungrateful, despicable brats. The lowest of the low. Right. Okay, this is fun. Matt Walsh is an actual fascist? Yeah, theocratic fascist and best-selling children's author. Oh, he made What Is a Woman? Isn't it amazing, the sort of pipeline? What was it? Control-Shift-S? What? I've installed the Zater... Aha! Welcome to speech recognition. I've already forgotten the thing. Let me... Win Shift S. Oh, Dave Rubin gives me vergüenza ajena. I don't know how to say it in English. Is that like oh, I know what you're talking about. It's like secondhand embarrassment, right? So he can get views when he agrees with human skin tags like Benjamin. Oh, Matt Walsh isn't, I think, yeah, okay, right. You can click in the right lower corner. PragerU. Remscham in German. Oh, there you go. Okay. Okay, look at that. Look at me. I'm learning. So get all of this. Now what do I do with it? It's just copied? Okay, cool. So save as, and colonialism good. Matt Walsh. Okay, so Rubin is an L machine. PragerU. Yeah, PragerU definitely did some colonization good stuff. Colonization good. If you live in freedom, thank the British Empire. There's another American. I don't understand it. I don't understand the American conservative sort of like, I love the British Empire all of a sudden, because it's so weird. Oh, I did the thing again. There we go. No! There we go. Save as colonialism good. PragerU. some people are always very reliable and having bad takes about any topic. Well, that's the thing, you know? It's kind of fascinating. And like, it amazes me that you can actually make a living off of being like wrong all the time and not doing, you know, just doing bad research. That debunks multiculturalism. Okay. All right, so colonies as being good or doing more good than bad. I think we've got, wait, how many of them do we need? So what we need is colonial exploit. No, we need examples. No, racist tweets and shit. What's that one?
And people from colonizing nations wonder why formerly colonized nations struggle after they leave, concluding that they, the colonizers, just manage their wealth and resources better, choosing not to reflect upon where exactly that wealth and richness came from in the first place.
Okay, so that's probably the one that we need the most right now. I think I've got a bunch of things about colonies being good. And I think I've also got apologism for the Queen, Winston Churchill. So I think the last one that I need... Matt, watch the left keep trying to misquote me to try and own me, but let me be clear, I would never have sex with a child out of wedlock. Did he say like the quiet bit loud there, or? I guess you as conservatives just realized they had more to gain by accepting shitheads with ideologies similar to theirs. I suppose so. Joined forces with their former oppressors. Advocates for arranged marriages and... Okay, so... Western... Okay, I feel like PragerU's definitely said something about this. Okay, so let's look up PragerU. The West is better. Why has the West been so successful? What? No! What? No! I don't want that! Okay, let's just... Okay, just need to be quick about this.
Western civilization. It's been around for a while, but suddenly
look at his
everyone
face
is talking about it.
Oh God!
Some are anxious to save it.
This is my
Others
first
are
time
happy to
hearing
see
his
it go.
voice.
But what exactly is Western civilization? Is it the
He
great
would have been a
cathedrals of
great
Europe, or the
nerd.
Nazi concentration camps? Is it the freedoms secured in the U.S. Constitution or chattel slavery?
Apologize, that was very rude of me. Okay, Western. Why has the West been so successful? Western success, Ben Shapiro. Knowledge Fight covered Alex Jones being on there and he's so boring. Oh, Rubin Report. He's a personification of, well, actually, he is. Look at that slicked back Richard Spencer hair. Okay, so we have PragerU. Let's try, I'm pretty sure Jordan Peterson would say something about the West successful, or Western civil, why the West is the best. The patriarchy is Western civilization. No, I'll say the West. Wet ass P word. Ben Shapiro sounds like the Family Guy parody of Ben Shapiro. You're never prepared to hear Ben Shapiro. You're gonna have to sit through a lot of Peterson crying before you get to him talking. There's plenty of motivation. The collapse, let's say Western civilization has probably got a lot of stuff. How Jordan Peterson is saving Western civilization. Oh my god. He's... Okay, here we go. What? PC? The computer says Western civilization. His face is cut off. He has no face. Interview with half of Jordan Peterson's face. Oh my goodness. The face being cropped out means it's art. They needed his feet in shot. Oh, that's funny. Okay. I happen to be a big fan of West. Oh. Ah, yes. I happen to be a big fan. I don't want brainy quote. No, I want him to actually say it. Here? An interview with the preaching professor. Close. I happen how can I... So he does say it, and this is very important. Oh, I can just put it as a quote. Okay. Peterson is that one person I wouldn't be surprised to learn had just been playing a role. It would just make so much more sense. I don't know, I think he's just a very unhappy man, you know? He refuses to accept responsibility and clean his own room. Oh yeah, here we go.
And people from colonizing nations wonder why formerly colonized nations struggle after they leave.
Okay. I'll just plop that there for the time being. Jordan Peterson. I think it was good. Oh, wait, how does he talk again? I'm just doing a Sean voice. Okay, well, let's just put that there for the time being. And I'll need to save this source because it seems like with this video, I'll just show you kind of briefly. I think all Canadian Conservatives just have that vibe of artifice because they're trying so hard not to apologize for anything. They never seem relaxed unless they're in a coma. I know, like, their basic nature as Canadians is to apologize, but they're really just holding on to their base instincts. You can get Peterson fans being mad for quoting him out of context. Yeah. People watch it. Peterson used to dog whistle and make parallels between kids and their sort of adversarial relationship with their parents in colonies and their colonizers. Yeah, because the colonies are just petulant children. The context is nonsensical ramblings, which is like the ridiculous thing. Like, he says anything you want him to say, which is why he's such a good gateway drug to, you know, the alt-right. I honestly didn't think, like, I just sort of dismissed him in terms of like the danger in his voice and his platform until I was making a video of why don't we watch this video? It's been a while. Wait, I'll just Kev P. Jordan Peterson. I made this video where I had to look at. Whoa, okay. Let's just go to my account. Yeah, Jordan Peterson sings Rainbow Connection. Dismissing Peterson is just your brain trying to protect itself. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it was really, like, I hadn't read any of his stuff, so I didn't really feel qualified to make an opinion about him. I mean, obviously, you know, I was never going to be a fan of his, but in terms of how, you know, toxic he was. Yeah, I was making this clip here where I had to mold together, like find little clips of interviews so that then he sings the lyrics to the Rainbow Connection. And in the process of getting the sounds that I needed by listening to all these interviews and isolating the sounds, I was like, oh Jesus, this guy is a crackpot, but a dangerous crackpot. Like, ugh. Anyway, let's listen to the video.
Why are there so many songs about white boys, and why won't they hear our side? White boys lack vision, they're full of delusion, and white boys have too much white pride. So we've been told, and some choose to believe it, but I know they're wrong. Wait and see. Someday we'll find it, the white boy connection, the incels, the alt-right, and me.
Yeah, so after this finishes, you'll hear a quote that I found really messed up.
With some individual examples of racism and Nazism and
There's lots of misbehavior. Yeah. It's like graffiti.
Yeah, so racism is misbehavior, like graffiti. That was one point at which I was like, okay, yeah, this man is not to be trusted. Woof. Oh, thank you, Eric. Glad you liked it. Oh, he talks about his grandma. What's that? Maps. Oh.
I dreamed I saw my maternal grandmother sitting.
Ooh. He sounds funny when he's trying to be. I dreamed I saw my maternal grandmother. Yeah, no. I'm not gonna listen to it till the end. I'm getting warnings. Okay, that's a terribly scaled photo. I feel like it's, very pasty. Okay, so let me keep that. That's the source of that quote. All right, so next up we've got, I want to find maybe, I need a whole bunch. I need tweets in particular. If anyone's able to find me, like, just look up some of the, the naughty people of the internet who are talking about the reason why, underdeveloped countries are underdeveloped is because they don't know how to handle their money, or they don't know how to handle their resources, or there's too much conflict. This Jordan Peterson quote's a good example. It doesn't specifically explicitly say this, but it's implying it by saying that Western civilization, like the alternative to Western civilization, is tyranny and starvation. So anything like this is going to be really useful for me. So who do we know who is likely to go on about this, who is someone who's like a right-wing, or maybe more politicians? Okay, conservative Politician, Western civilization. Western civilization is not under threat, no. Okay, well, let's see if there are any links here to examples of the conservative hysteria. Double standards. Oh, okay, the Australians are really good conservative thing. What does he say? Well, maybe later. Oh yeah, shithole countries. Political correctness is to blame. Okay. Alan Jones and Tony Abbott launch his new book on political correctness. All right, so let's have a look at some of these, shall we? There's Darren Grimes. He's like a British attempt at growing a Ben Shapiro. Oh. Can we help? No? I don't want award-winning journalism. How is this award-winning journalism? It's garbage. Wait, he denies the comments? I am not racist. I mean, this probably works. Trump shithole countries. Why allow immigrants from shithole countries? Continue without supporting NBC News. Darren Grimes, okay. Trump referred to Haiti and African nations as shithole nations. I mean, this is slightly, oh, whoops, I did the thing. Didn't do the thing. This is kind of adjacent to the point that I'm trying to make, so I may not use this. I prefer to have something which is more explicitly about comparing the West in terms of finances and post-colonization. So what do we want? Western success. Trump. Oh, Jordan Peterson. Freedom of... Oh, geez, sorry. No one should have to see that racism. Is Western civilization dead? It's alive and well, it's just not very good. Okay, let's look up Darren Grimes. Darren Grimes, Western... Let's see what he says about Africa. He claimed he became a Brexiteer because the EU put tariffs on cocoa beans from Africa. What? Oh. David Starkey's been into... He made about slavery. Slavery was not genocide, otherwise the... Whoa! Who is this person? Slavery was not genocide remarks. there, RHDC95. Hey there, Sophie the Bookworm. Hope you're doing well. You did join at a curious time. Very curious. Starkey... I don't know where this would go. Oh, you know what? It's apologism. Oh, whoops, I didn't do the thing again. I can't believe people like that. Yeah, genocide didn't happen because look at their populations now. What was that? This counts as apologism. So David Starkey. Starkey was the whites have become black comment during the London riots. You don't get off of genocide because you killed them all minus one survivor. Yep. Oh dear. Okay, so wait. Chat with Darren Grimes on Twitter. Darren Grimes, who PragerU Africa. Let's see what they say about Africa. What's going on in South Africa? Okay, that's good that they've sort of stayed away from that. Oh, here we go. Slavery existed in... Slavery is not a white phenomenon. No society is guiltless. So basically what that means is that we, you know, it's not really that big a deal and we should all just get over it and, you know, move on. This is why I wanted company to do this in, because... Oof. Apologism. PragerU. I'm so sorry for what this will do for your recommendations. Well, I mean, I've pretty much married myself to making more social issue videos now, so this is just inevitable, unfortunately. Just gonna, yeah, I should have done these in like a incognito window, but oh no, you're right, Sophie the Bookworm. What have I done? You claim that a majority of Native American tribes didn't practice slavery or kill other tribes for their land and hunting grounds. What a fantastically ignorant statement. Completely delusional. The Europeans and later Americans who encountered Indians were brutal themselves, because why are you referring to them as Indians? But they were also routinely shocked by the level of brutality displayed by Indians. Whew. Yep, that's going in the collection. I don't want to have too many by the same players, obviously, but I should be able to pick and choose rather than using all of them, which is ideal. Okay, so apologism, and then we've got Matt Walsh here. My Google Discover is going to be bad. Time to burn that account. Oof. Need a second home just to purge some of the algorithm. Okay, so this is what we need more of. The thing is, it's difficult to get that in, to get all of that nuance into that tweet. People who write about these issues don't tend to be particularly nuanced. Okay, let's try name a reactionary thought leader, and I will add that with African independence. Or maybe African poverty. African poverty. Who is some other people? There's like, who's that other one? There's like this other guy who is sort of like reactionary, but he sort of masquerades as someone who's less conservative. Joe Rogan. End poverty to fix crime. Who's Thomas Sowell? The problem with Joe Rogan and the white boys. Oh. According to Rational Wiki, the three main reasons why the Atlantic slave trade was different from other slave castes throughout society is its duration of approximately 4 centuries, as opposed to much longer in the Middle East. Slaves were chosen due to their race or due to availability or to capacity for work. White civilizations enthusiastically adopted racism and racialism as a post hoc justification for African slavery. Yeah, that's my understanding. It was all very like retroactive, the sort of racializing, which is interesting because I mean, if you look at a lot of more modern human rights struggles, a lot of it comes from like, it starts where you dehumanize the people, like you sort of point out that, like, for example, if we look at National Socialism, it was this idea that people who were Jewish were somehow different from everyone else. I mean, obviously there were other justifications that were made up for why they were less than human, allegedly. But yeah, my understanding is that like the slavery of Black people was something that was made up after the fact. So that's something that I think is definitely worth someone doing some research about, just the sociology behind that. African racialism happened by deduction after a pope declared pre-Columbian peoples and Asian people unenslavable because that might interfere with conversion efforts. Ugh. Jeez, MH crackers. Okay, so if in doubt, Ben Shapiro, what was it that we looked at? African poverty. Common sense view of racism and poverty. Smacks down system racial and how to debunk the left's arguments on income equality. What I think is interesting here that I searched for Ben Shapiro African poverty, and this is about Black, like African Americans. Specifically after the African continent. I mean, yes, there's poverty there in those communities as well due to the whole slavery thing, but that's not exactly what I'm after right now. Thank you very much, Google. African independence. Western values. Debunks! I love how debunks is always in capital. The unbearable whiteness of being. Okay. Look up his comments about Palestinians. Oh dear, do I dare? Here's the truth. What about Joe Rogan? So, sorry, there's going to be a loud noise of me getting a piece of Lebkuchen. You can put African in quotes, I think, to search for the actual word. Okay. I thought that was just for when you put several words together. Other thought leaders. I need to, I want to vary it up a little bit. Fox News. African poverty? Stop throwing cash at pollination. Take this aid and shove it. Poverty falls across Africa. I need something that sort of, like, to a degree this is cherry picking, but it's like I've seen stuff like this before. I just need to get like a few key examples from particular people, because I've seen it a lot in like lay people, you know, like just people on Twitter using that as talking points. But what I really want is to see the people they got it from, because, you know, like these thoughts don't exist in a vacuum. A lot of times the people randomly spouting it like it's truth are doing so because they heard it on like a conservative talk show or something. Steve Bannon! Yes! Thank you. No, I have not looked up Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon. Democrats have a plantation mentality. Oh, who's that guy who wrote the bell curve? This is all news about him rather than him saying anything. Liberia was America's only African colony, which was intended to be used as a dumping ground for black people after slavery was abolished. Seriously? Charles Murray, thank you. Open sewers in Palestine? Charles Murray. I feel like we'll get a lot of good stuff. Well, not good stuff. We'll get a lot of stuff that's relevant from my video. So technically Liberia was multiple American colonies set up by several US states as a place to repatriate free black people. How could anyone believe that African poverty is due to European colonization? Can you give some sources, please? Poverty and exchange. 30 years of research on race differences. Why would anyone... Race has been debunked as like a biological scientific structure like so many years ago. This is so old. You know what I mean? Ugh. The worst. Okay. Western culture. It's just mailing groups. So Africa. Charles Murray, the real problem. Doesn't it make a difference? What's he say? Ooh. Ooh, okay. He's a horrible old man. Yeah, I helped Sean make his video on the bell curve. Well, when I say helped, I researched some stuff for him. Let's say Western success. This is the opposite of Western success. Charles Murray. What if all the disparities in society were natural, which is a magic mystifying word that means you don't have to look any closer at it? Yeah, Charles Murray is the bell curve person. Okay, so Charles Murray, the allure of race science. Oh, I wonder if some of the stuff has been removed because I'm living in Germany right now. Oh, why would you write it that way? What a horrible man. African independence. Let's look up. Okay, writing during Pseudo-Scology Apologia for Racism. Nice. Treason to whiteness is loyalty to humanity. If anyone else finds something, I don't think he's against the bell curve. Sam Harris, he's, let's see. Oh, he might have some stuff about Western civilization. No, I think they're putting them both together, saying Sam Harris and Charles Murray both believe in race science. The unwelcome revival of race science. What else have you been tweeting, Mr. Man? Social scientists seeing this, forget about your opinions, as an indicator of changed police behavior. Oh, yes, please look at the book that I wrote, which is like really poorly written. My once a decade pontification, an awful of chicken counting. The worse the better when it comes to wokeness at the elite schools. I love how wokeness has a capital W. Oh, just read something. Pat Robertson is another one. He claimed that the reason why Haiti is impoverished is divine retribution for making a pact with Satan to lead the revolution against the French. Oh. While he does the standard televangelist hate-filled pus, he is, in my opinion, the worst because of one particular event. During the Rwandan genocide, he called for donations. And where did that money go to? His diamond mines he set up with the dictator of Zaire, which likely involved child slavery? Ooh. Who's this guy? Pat Robertson. Pat Robertson. Oh, rich people. Accused of diverting African aid. So I still don't think I've found the stuff that I need. Maybe I just need to go on Twitter and just search for regular tweets, because I think maybe the thought leaders are being a little bit less, you know, open about these sorts of things. I mean, like, if I were doing a certain thing, like using that to prove my point, then it would be cherry picking, but I'm just using it to sort of like illustrate the background while I talk about something. So doesn't count. So let's look at African poverty colonization. Apologies in advance if anything here is triggering, because we're probably going to encounter some garbage. How are these top tweets? Religion is the root cause. Do not underestimate. African independence. African underdeveloped. Oh! Fox News personalities, thank you. That's a very good resource. Revolutions against the French is just French culture. Let me look up Pat Robertson. Okay, so we'll get that. I feel really bad about Haiti. Like that story is one of the. It makes me very upset when I. You know, just how that whole story played out. It's just. It's one of those sort of like, you know, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't sort of scenarios, which is just so, like, it comes across as so hopeless, you know? Okay, so where were we? Oh. Oh, okay, no, that's in French. Oh yeah, Fox News personalities, that's right. Where are we? Fox News personalities. Oh, that was here. Thank you. All right, so let's see if any of these names sort of like jump out. Oh, Tucker Carlson. He always looks like he's just been caught for being a naughty boy. Does anyone else get that sort of vibe from him? Like he's always kind of like, you know. Okay. Or maybe look up Western civilization. This is what the collapse of the West is: a birthright we must preserve. Ugh. What is Western civilization? Tucker Carlson drowns in his own racist. Oh, Tucker presses South Africa civil rights activist on why people. Tucker Carlson attacks Africa for not being grateful and appreciative of British colonialism. Okay, well, let's just add that to the pile. Oh, whoops. No! Cancel. Tucker has a white supremacist writer? I just love the idea that these people don't even write their own sort of racist screeds. You know, they need someone else to write the racism for them. Okay, so we need to find more Tucker Carlson on Africa because Peril of Africa. What is Peril of Africa? China is colonizing country. Oh, now you care about colonization. South Africa's white rights activists. All right. White rights activists. Allowing Brazil to become a colony of China. Okay, so this is just about the South Africa conspiracy theory. I think this is probably referring to the same thing, yeah. He's always describing immigrants from the Southern Hemisphere as dirty, savage, and here to replace conservative voters. Immigrants. Tucker Carlson, illegal immigrant. This will destroy the US over time. Immigration and crime. Like, I still haven't found this because I don't know the keywords to look for. Western countries. Wealth. Maybe if I look up Western countries in Africa. White MPs in French Parliament shouted, "You should go back to Africa," to black MPs. Whew. I can't. Africa is poor because Africa can, yeah, that's fine. At a time of a historic, Africa must look eastward. Why Western countries have jealousy on China. Western countries are so entitled. Wait. If Africans manage to preserve their languages, what makes you think Christianity isn't one of them? Christianity isn't a language. Okay, sorry, I got confused by that. Africa has more Christians than any other continent. Africa is a land of origins. Are there any hashtags? I'm sure if you did a hashtag for like the Great Replacement, you'd find something. The two languages, Christian and political. By the way, if you find any more links, like if you have any keyword search ideas and things like that, that would be awesome. Or if you want to like look for YouTube video titles and things. More people in Africa believe China is a positive influence on the world compared with many Western countries. God save Africa. I haven't seen any like racist ones, and I'm wondering whether part of that is to do with the fact that I'm in Germany. In African countries where there's a lack of effective medicine. Ah, Here we go. Here we go. Oh wait. Okay, no, this is in response to like China doing something. All African countries should adopt Bitcoin. Western countries continue to pour aid money. The enemy of Africa is Africa themselves. Who is this person? Soccer for Justice. Okay, I'm not sure what this person is saying. Wait, is this a Hindu nationalist thing? No. Okay, that's a relief. I think I shared a meme a while back, like China gives Africa hospitals and Europeans give them lectures. Yeah, like that's the thing, you know, like there's memes and things which are like referring to something which happens. What I need is the things happening, you know, like I need tweets of that. I need, you know, thought leaders making those statements and giving those lectures. But that's the difficult thing, because just how much content there is online, and the most recent stuff is prioritized. At the moment, I think the Ukraine is more likely to be news than looking at like decolonial issues. Like when Black Lives Matter was, oh, actually no, maybe when the Queen's death was pretty recent. This is how Africans are, yeah, I want the, wait, what? That's the whole fucking point. Oh, gee, okay. Ethiopian. No, geez, everyone's so rude on here. Oh, geez, sorry, there was a bad image there. Okay, I've been put off by that particular thing, so why don't we do Dave Rubin? Who is Rubin? Rubin Report person. Is he good or bad? Formerly classical liberal talk show. High level and important ideas as proliferated by a white guy. This is probably a bad idea as well. Meanwhile, those right-wing clowns build their entire thing on memes and not understanding context and have all these success. Why is anyone even trying? Yeah, that's the thing. Like that, like because of what I'm talking about, you know, like I truly believe in decolonization and I want more people to sort of like get on board with it. But because the default is to be against it or to willfully not understand what it is, I need to make sure that I have stuff, you know, like I can illustrate my points and I can also back up the important stuff. Oh, Candace Owens. Candace Owens might be a good one. Manage settings, reject all. I don't care. British colonization of Africa was a net positive. This is definitely something that we can use. Candace Owens, oh my God. Wow. 96 years old is way too old for I feel like she was not very happy by the end. Okay, so apologism, Candace Owens. And like, I'm gonna have to source all these stuff afterwards as well. Praises the British invasion. Oh, that's even worse. I mean, that's probably the same quote. Oh, so the Daily Wire. Maybe I can look up the Daily Wire. African poverty. Or maybe African corruption? I just don't know the keywords to look for to get the information that I need, you know, the stuff that I come across semi-regularly. It's difficult to actually specifically look for it, you know? So when is this? Oh, Stephen Molyneux as well. That's another one. Oops. He's pretty bad, isn't he? The one time you want to see it, it's not shoved in your face. Exactly. This is the paradox that I'm coming across. And this is why I need your help, because maybe you've come across something, you know, or have heard of something or whatever. This has been a very productive stream for me. I appreciate all your help. I should have the video out by Monday at the latest, I think. So I'm pretty excited. I'm annoyed because I recorded all the audio 2 years ago. So it's been mostly done for 2 years, but because I've been quite PTSD-ish and, you know, COVID-y, well, sad about COVID, you know, I haven't been working on videos, and now when I've revisited the audio, I'm still okay with the things that I say, but the audio quality, it could be better, you know? And I'm just like, well, I don't want to just re-record it and start from scratch again. But I don't know how to make the soundless shit. I went from an ANCAP misogynist to a proud white nationalist. It's a very easy, it's not a big jump, you know. Stephen Molyneux. Southern Province about South Africa and apartheid. African development, maybe? But he's just going to talk about South Africa, which is like him focusing on the white genocide. What I want is maybe Western civilization. The uniqueness of Western civilization, that might be good. The art of the argument, Western civilization is the last stand. Oh my goodness, these people. For people who are sort of on top of the world, they're so vulnerable and delicate. Salvaging Western civilization. Stephen Molyneux isn't a racist or a white supremacist. There isn't a white supremacist. Oh, gee. Huh. Mocked Aboriginal culture. What did he say? They say that your ancestors tried to steal the land. I say they were trying to stop infanticide and mass rape. I will not honor this culture. Oh my god. Okay, let's keep this because this is basically it. Like, I happen to be, yeah. Yeah, anyway. Stephen Molyneux. So we'll keep that. That's not exactly what we're after. But I hate that they all sort of congregate in Melbourne as well. Like Melbourne, in my mind, is the most cosmopolitan part of Australia, but for some reason we're also the happiest to allow horrible people into our country. Yeah, I know about Lauren Southern. Oh, she was also a great replacement person, and I think if I search Africa for her, it'll be her talking about alleged white genocide in South Africa. Oh, Tommy Lauren. That sounds familiar. Where'd she go? Is she still doing stuff? I think Western civilization. I need to find more stuff about Western nations manage their wealth better. So, geez, has anyone else got? Oh, Dinesh D'Souza. Does anyone have any idea for like search terms I should be looking for? Oh, whoops, sorry. Dinesh. What's so great about Christianity? What's so great about America? Cultural differences. Okay, this sounds like a bit of a dog whistle. Two cheers for colonialism. Oh, wait a second. Left-wing multiculturalism. Ah. Takes all of America's critics and proves them wrong. Oh, I need this quote. I mean, like, I need... Oh, look, tokenizing. Colonialism, the author, an immigrant from India, gives two cheers for British colonialism, pointing out that the sons and daughters of colonists are the beneficiaries of Western law, culture, education, and prosperity. I need these quotes. What's so great about America quotes? So I'm looking for, you see over here, I'm looking for examples in tweets or in articles of politicians / public figures concluding that the reason why formerly colonized nations like those in the African continent struggle after gaining independence is because the colonizers were the only people keeping their countries afloat, or the Western nations managed their wealth better. So yeah, basically this idea that the West is just like inherently better, more civilized, more educated, enlightenment, that sort of thing. I really need to pee. So I'll be back in a minute, and I'll just leave these What's So Great About America quotes so you can just enjoy reading Dinesh D'Souza talking about how great America is and how much he hates himself. I think point number 2 might be too obviously written. Yeah, that's the sort of thing that I'm considering. So it may be worth, like, I just need to find keywords. I'm not using the right keywords is the issue. So if one of you are able to like just brainstorm what are the keywords that I should be using here, that would be amazing. Anyway, I really need to pee. I'll be back. Okey-dokey. All right, what did I miss? So I need something about Western civilization being better. No. I guess it wasn't that good a book. There aren't very many quotes. What's that? Parsley. 2 cheers for colonialism. That's just stupid. Western Academy, Who the hell uses the phrase third world these days? Frantz Fanon is the best. Wait, is there an article that he's written? Okay, no, it's just searching for other books. Then how Europe underdeveloped. Similar note, yeah, the wretched of the earth. Okay, discusses cultural differences. America through Muslim eyes. By definition, all Muslims are fundamentalist. They're one of the top young policymakers. Oh, jeez. Okay, so. All right. Let's try again. Search terms. Probably. I'm looking specifically for examples of people who are saying these things. Western nations manage their wealth better. I mean, this is a good quote. That's a good quote, but it's about Australia, whereas I'm talking about independence, after gaining independence. The Daily Wire, African poverty. African conflict. Who else is conservative? I mean, let's see what he says about African conflict or third world conflict. Racism is not the cause of. It's just like, I don't know, brown people being like anti-black is just such a own goal. Okay, so Dinesh D'Souza, what was I looking up? African conflict. Oh wait, no, third world, because he mentions maybe that's what I should be looking up. Because I'm not just looking after Africa, I'm looking about formerly colonized nations. Exposing the Nazi roots of the American left. Oh wee. I bet he's gonna use like skinheads or something as an example. Yeah, capitalism lifting people out of poverty. gonna be honest though, I lived in Western civilization for my entire life, and I really don't see what's supposed to be so great about it. I mean, as someone who has lived in various places around the world, every time I've come to live in Europe, I have these experiences, which is kind of like, oh gee, like it was really false advertising. This whole like Europe being like the pinnacle of civilization, you know, like Germany. Oh my goodness, and Belgium. Hooey. Despite the fact that they've stolen so much shit. Still, you got all the wealth in the world and you still have no idea how to run a country. Okay, I'm just going to search everyone for third world. So PragerU. Third world, I'm going to look up, have it like that. No, this isn't a third world country, it's California. The third world will suffer terribly. Wait, what? It's just him. What? What is... It's just like a title and then that's that's it. What? Oh, is this meant to be it? More suffering is ahead for the developing world. I live in one of these third world countries. You're currently funding some dangerous people. Ah! Western imperialism is the sole source of... I need this transcript. Oh, okay, I can't access that transcript. Fine. Everyone does seem to be miserable all the time. I've seen bits and pieces of the Nazi left beginnings of the left. It's based on Nazi means. Oh, for National Socialism, right? Okay, so those are the secret origins of leftism. All right. Okay, let's try. I feel like anyone who uses the term third world who isn't from there probably has bad intentions. Oh, third world foreigners with no tradition or taste for or experience in There's little question that this leak... What leak? You know what, why don't I do like an advanced Twitter search? This might be easy, this might be good. So, from Ben Shapiro. Oh. No, it's not going to autocorrect. I mean, autofill, because I could just have them from any account and just put a few keywords in, and that would make my job a lot easier. Okay. Guessing that was a Supreme Court leak letting everyone know they're about to repeal Roe versus Wade. Quite possibly. Okay, so let's go on a mission, everyone. So I need the Twitter accounts. Find me the Twitter accounts of conservatives and give me the links. So we've got does Joe or reactionaries. Joe Rogan Twitter. So I've got that. Oh wait. Joe Rogan and oh jeez, this is taking me forever. I'm getting tired is the thing. So my reflexes are very bad. Ben Shapiro. Who else have we got? We got I'm guessing he's suspended. Yeah. Definitely not the one with he, him in the bio. PragerU. Alex Jones is what I was thinking of. Thank you. Whoops. Yeah, I think he lost his account. Why not Charles Murray? I think it's funny that this old guy, Charles Murray, was able to secure a Twitter account with just his name. I'm sure there are lots of people called Charles Murray. Dennis Prager, yeah. Does he have his own account? And I've got Ben Shapiro. I could do David Rubin. David Rubin, Twitter. Tim Pool, Steven Crowder. We haven't, oh my goodness. Once you start thinking about it, it just becomes like the floodgates open. Steven Crowder, I haven't looked him up this whole time. Scrowder. Tim Pool, Twitter. He always wears that beanie. Does he just like not have hair and he's trying to hide that? Or does he think it makes him look cool? Kellyanne Conway. Peanut? What? Why did that come up? Is that this person? Yes. Okay. Oh, geez. We got the Tucker Carlson Twitter. That's the first time I've seen him smiling and not looking like he's a schoolboy that's gotten in trouble. Laura Ingra. Dead Bunny needs to drink more. Oh gee. Yeah, you're on the ball here. Okay, so let's start with this. Thank you so much. Arabophobia. Oh, gee. Okay, so this is like specifically about the Israel-Palestine thing, which isn't quite what I'm after here in terms of like this particular thing, but that is nasty. That's a very good find. Jeez, MH crackers. Here's a great list of, oh, okay. All right, let's do this, folks. I have so many tabs open. Wait. Wait, do I have another? Nope. Advanced Twitter search, here we go. From these accounts. We need to look for third world. Okay. All of them talking about the US. How does me not using water create potable water in third world countries? I feel uncomfortable when we are not about me. Oh my goodness. It's just stuff that happens in third world countries that are run by gangsters. This is not, oh gee, okay. I mean, like, this is frustrating because that is the mindset that I'm after, but he's using it to talk about, you know, to decry the fall of the West. But it does have that mindset. You see what I mean? Like, you know, he's saying that Western nations are just naturally better. Third world countries are just naturally, you know, garbage and corrupt and violent and that kind of stuff. It's that mindset, but he's framing it in a way that I can't use for this video, which is really frustrating. Oh, Greenwald. What's his name? Glenn? Wait. Oh, there. Or from, there we go. I'm gonna, if any of you want to do a search with me, I'm gonna give this link, which is probably gonna get me flagged as spam. Oh gee. And besides this link, this is the text that I used. But you can insert other keywords into that, which I'll probably do at some point. But I hope that helps if you're interested in joining in, making this an interactive activity. Likens West Baltimore to third world country. West, I love the way that they just keep saying like a third world country. US will become like, oh, jeez. Third world conditions. Saving the world doesn't mean you need to look third world. So we're turning into, oh my goodness gracious. The point is that our legal immigration system, and like that's also a dog whistle, you see, for that kind of thing. The idea that like people from the global south are like, you know, they're not going to bring as much to the US. They're going to bring bad things to the US as opposed to like people from the global north. That's the exact mindset. It's just being framed in a way that's not going to work for the purpose that I need it to be. That's what pisses me off. It's like I can see it there, but it's just not the correct ordering of words for me to use. Isn't the US already living under the conditions they're thinking about anyway? Yes. Yes. I mean, like, I would be one of the first to say that the US isn't a developed country. But yeah, it's like, it's not an equal society, so, you know, like the fact that not everyone has clean drinking water in the country, that's an example, and I don't think those are the things that these people are worried about, you know what I mean? Oh, geez. How many times are you going to tweet the same thing for the first time? Ugh. Third world inequality. Third world. Third world country. Okay, so let's try something else. Let's say developed countries, maybe. Oh wow, no one wants to talk about developed countries. We're only interested in the third world here. What's that a quote tweet of? Oh, okay. Africa. Why most countries in Africa are crap holes. Here we go. Why has he got... What's he doing to his bosom? Is he actually saying that? Sorry, we're going to have to listen to it.
If they silence you, if you're afraid to speak out, if you say, well, I want to tell them that most of them were sold into slavery and, we fought these bloody wars, but I don't want to be accused of being racist. Boom, they've won. Because guess what? Your opinion is violence, but silence is also violence.
Yeah.
We ended slavery here in the United States. And by the way, we are the reason that the rest of the world effectively followed suit.
Okay, so the British and the Americans are currently in a locked-in battle for who ended slavery. That's so funny. Ugh. He likes to pretend to be a woman to ridicule trans people, but dresses... Oh, geez. He likes cross-dressing, but dresses up in transphobia. Okay, right. So he was doing a transphobia there. Western countries might be good. That's the thing. Like a lot of this stuff. I'm not trying to say that I'm some paragon of enlightenment or whatever, but it's like these things don't occur to me. So often. You really need to think, like with that Boris Johnson quote we were looking at earlier, the stuff that he said and the way that he phrased things was just like of a completely different worldview. You know what I mean? Where this kind of thing, a lot of humor is sort of precipiced off of culturally grounded understandings. So like in Steven Crowder's worldview, if you see him with whatever he's got going on there, you're meant to make the connection with the humor that what he's doing there is he is mimicking what he believes the trans women do or look like or whatever, and that's also funny. Like there's a huge disconnect there. It relies on a lot of presupposed information before the punchline hits, like comedians talk about whether or not a joke scans. And it only seems to, like, you either have to be of that mindset yourself or you're hyper aware of the trans rights struggle so you can spot these things. Whereas, like, for me, a lot of my focus tends to be on decolonization. So, like, some of this stuff, whereas some of you sort of picked up that connection because I'm assuming this is a struggle which is either closer to you or something that is more visible to you for whatever reason. Yeah, like oof. Jeez. From a Danish perspective, our politicians like to talk about integration enough that most of the time they're talking about assimilation. Yeah. I mean, it's the same thing in a lot of Western countries. And I think that's also, like that's sort of like the step before the dog whistle. It's like they're doing it out of an ostensive belief that this is what's best for them. It's sort of like a caring, paternalistic sort of belief in you know, the lowerness on the hierarchy of immigrants from the global south, if that makes sense. It's very interesting. Jesus ended slavery when he discovered America. Yeah, that's exactly it. You need to know the semiotics of bigotry in order to, I mean, and I guess that's why Dogwhistles are so successful. And this is also why it's so difficult for me to find like explicit mention of this thing here. Like, I'm sure it's not really in question by people in this audience. I'm sure a lot of us have seen messages that belie this particular mindset. But when you actually look for people explicitly saying it, that's a lot more difficult to prove. Interesting, though. Okay, so we got that. What a weird person. Their act is setting up the narratives around those stereotypes so then they can perform those stereotypes. Yeah, it's like a complete fiction. Dems have forced credit card companies. Donkey penises. I love that this is muted. I'm just imagining him in this clip. You know, he's so animated, and I'm just thinking he's talking about donkey penises. He's just doing a big thing about donkey. So now, oh, look how he's fingering that pen. He's just gleefully imagining, and there are donkey penises everywhere. Look how I finger this donkey penis. Don't clip that. Okay. Cultural Appropriation Month. Oh my goodness, these people are just so I feel like a lot of them don't actually believe anything. I'm just gonna scroll past all the Cultural Appropriation Month stuff because it's just like New York Times claimed there was too much free speech and not enough censorship. Travel to a remote village in Africa. We're not going to tell you where. All you need to know is that it's a remote village in Africa. Oh, gee, okay. It's okay if you weren't listening, Fizzy Bear. We were just talking about donkey penises. They usually use very simple wordings that are hard to find with searches. Yeah, like if the thing is, if I, you know, people are always saying, oh, people who speak up about racism, they try to look for racism everywhere. It's like, I'm looking for racism. I'm looking for racism now, but I don't know the search terms to look for it because I don't look for it. I think he's one of those people who's outwardly homophobic but is secretly gay. I mean, we can't really make those kinds of judgments, but there certainly is an element of conservative people who are just acting out of sheer jealousy because they feel like, you know, there are certain people who are living the life that they want to live. Everyone knows every remote village in all of Africa is exactly the same. Remember this? No. Shocking to no serious virologist or immunologist. No one thinks. Oh god, now it's all the anti-vax stuff. It's also okay, let's have a look at what Charles Murray says about this. I find the language racist. The technical meanings of primitive and superior aren't racist, but in practice the words have racist... Wait, the technical meaning of primitive is inherently racist. What the hell are you going on about? No evolutionary psychologist would frame it that. That's because evolutionary psychology is bunk. Ugh. There's certainly nothing... Fitness and... Oh, you see, he's doing this. He is saying this too. Because, well, not explicitly about wealth, but he's saying that, you know, like, that white people are more clever than black people, and that speed and, like, cognitive ability increases as economies and technology develops, ergo, you know, African countries or places with black people or black populations are not technologically advanced enough to have this. Like, you see, like, there's just all these building blocks of racism that he's putting together, but he's doing it all in separate tweets. So I can't use this. Oh, Charles Murray, you win this one. Zebras have been to the moon before humans. No flat earther would deny that. Jacob Rees-Mogg on British concentration camps. Let's have a look. Oh! Okay, he has compared the death rate in the Boer War concentration camps to the death rate in Glasgow at the time. Therefore, it's fine. So I'm going to bookmark that. I won't be able to use it for my video, for this video, but I might be able to use it for my thesis. So thank you. Oh my goodness. Oh, why am I doing this? Number of guns clearly equals cleverness. Life check, if you ever have to compare death rates, you're probably on the wrong side. If you think the evil of slavery is a relic of the past, yeah, this suits it. Slaves in Africa versus slaves in the US, because the US is more civilized. Jeez, I feel like I'm gonna need a drink after this. I do have it. Okay, like I'm gonna end the stream in a little bit, but I do have some leftover soju, so excuse me for a sec. I could have been doing that the whole time. Okay, we got some green grape soju here, if you can see. Very much looking forward to putting myself out of my misery. Cheers. Oh, Jesus, that's strong. Refreshing, though. Okay, so Western success. PragerU. Which is easier to learn, French or German? I'd say German. I find the pronunciation of French is, I mean, like, I have no interest in learning French, of course, but also, I've been finding German pretty easy. The pronunciation I'm still struggling with, but I'm sort of getting there in a way that I don't think I could be with French, because there's just too many sounds like everywhere. Whereas with German, you've just got sounds like every so often. I don't know how else to describe that. French is probably the most useful language because it's spoken in more countries, which is the annoying thing. Like, because I want to do work with, you know, in terms of like returning cultural objects and elevating the voices of people from the African diaspora, French is probably a language that would be really useful for that. But alas, I don't want to learn French just out of principle. I think we've already quoted that one. Substantial evolution has occurred. We haven't spun off of the... Why do people like why can't he retire? I don't understand what, like, he doesn't need to be permanently online. He is old enough that he's, you know, got other means. He doesn't need to be permanently online. So Western success, Charles Murray too. I'm just gonna have to scavenge, you know. I think I'm gonna have to like salvage from these things to find things that sort of most closely fit that, just because of all the dog whistles. It's really difficult to find very explicit statements to that effect. Hey there, Erico man, how's it going? And hey there, Nug, how's it going? I'm so sorry. This is just like a search of tweets from a bunch of nasty people about Africa. So yeah, apologies in advance. Content warning, general content warning. There's probably going to be a lot of nastiness here. Depends how you find pronunciation. Pronounce the whole word German. Pronounce roughly half the word French. Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, but the thing is, with German, if you've got like a vowel and an R sound before a consonant, then you don't pronounce the R. Like, so like if the R is after a consonant, then you pronounce it, like Australian, or if it's between two vowel sounds. But arbeiten, A-R-B-E-I-T-E-N, arbeiten. You don't say arbeiten. But if you were speaking French, you would pronounce it, well, that word doesn't exist in French, I don't think, but you would pronounce it arbeiten or arbeise. And just imply the last words. As a native German speaker, I would honestly say German is harder. It has a lot more weirdnesses. Hello, Pisno. Hello, Pisno. I like German. I like its weirdness. Selbstverständlich. I've got a list of some of my favorite words. I learned the word angefangen. Angefangen. Ich habe angefangen. Sorry, I feel like I'm drinking this too quickly. Debunk Smith that Africa... Oh, geez. African immigrant. Pretty sure she has a name, but it's all right. African immigrant kind of does what it says on the tin. PragerU 2. Ich habe angefangen zu trinken. How long until we get to Rhodesia? I haven't looked up Rhodesia, actually. I know what I'm talking about. Oh my god. Maybe we ought to treat China like apartheid South Africa. Maybe we should boycott their products. Is it today's version of apartheid South Africa? Okay, why are many black immigrants from Africa politically conservative? If America is a land of systemic racism, why are so many of them thriving today? So many of them. Why are... geez, you just tweet the same thing 200 times. I should do that. Maybe I'd get more engagement on my tweets. I don't know if this is strictly Western versus Third World, but usually Christianity is associated with the West and Islam associated with the Near East. Thank you for that. The truth about... whoops. Options. Reject all. Save and exit. The truth about Muslims and sex slavery according to the Quran rather than ISIS or Islamophobes. Oh, geez, that's an awful photo. I'm not going to share that. Goodness. Even louder sound of even more anguish coming from me. Distant sound of me screaming in anguish. With German, you have all the grammar, but with French, you can fool most people into thinking you speak. Yeah, that's true. You can just that's French. Okay, Democrat. China's growing influence. The Candace Owens Show. Twitter probably found out that Nicholas Wade actually think that human evolution just would you? Wait, where would you possibly find a geneticist who agree? Oh, shut up. Jeez, you really want to plug this video. I find it weird that when it comes to diseases first identified in Africa, the oldest Homo erectus fossils come from Africa. Wait, what? I'm told by those who know that evidence that Homo sapiens came out of Africa still prevails, but other hominins that interbred with Homo sapiens were on the Eurasian landmass much earlier, and this may be... What? I don't even know or care what that's about. Damn, imagine if someone suggested arranged marriages and child rights were good. That is not French? No? With that much phlegm, that's closer to Welsh. Oh wow, we're getting spicy in the chat. What? To say humans left Africa means that they were humans at the time they left Africa? What? Like, I'm not even going to quote that because, like, I don't want to believe that I'm interpreting it correctly. This is another thing white supremacists have been pushing for years, that the first few humans were actually from Eurasia. Okay, is that what? Okay, so oh, really? Improvements in Asia and Africa will? And who is going to fund that? You know, given that you took all this shit from... Oh, I hate people. I almost want to cry just because, like, I don't... These people have had well, many of them have had a university education. So it's like, what are they doing with it? What do you need science for if you can just make up your own? Right? The reason Chinese corporations are in Africa... Does Israel discriminate against Arabs? Oh my Jesus Christ, you've been plugging that video for like a whole year. Oh, and there's that did you know fact again. Can any World War II historians out there explain who was sinking ships off the southeastern coast? Muslims who support Sharia. Most Muslims believe violence against Israel is just this. Wait, so you do statistics here, but you don't do statistics for this blanket statement. What? Oh, and with the tokenizing as well, like, oh, okay. Justifying their own hate, bigotry and hate is all they live for, it seems. I mean, that's the thing, and it's, like, it's really profitable. It's so much harder to you know, do what I do. Or do what, you know, like, anyone, I'm assuming. Actually, no, to be fair, I think that a lot of people on the left are also a bit intellectually debatable in terms of, like, you know, making emotional arguments rather than... I mean, that's a difficult thing in itself because, like, I think it's perfectly okay to be emotional about an issue that is affecting you. And I don't think that emotion should be seen as, like, counter to reason. But when emotion stops you, you know, means that you're going to use any source that you come across that backs you up, as opposed to finding the source which actually does, you know, what you need it to do and is, like, reputable and you know what I mean. I feel like there's a difference between those things, and I feel like the movements, like progressive movements, really get, like, hampered by people who just, like, pick and choose things. So, which is another reason why I'm trying so hard to make sure that everything that I make, especially about decolonization, I want everyone to get on board with decolonization. And I don't want anyone to be able to look at my videos and say, that was, oh, there's a word that I'm looking for, intellectually insincere, maybe? Intellectually devoid. Yeah, exactly. What Sharia means for one Muslim means something different for another Muslim. Exactly. Source, trust me, bro. Oh, jeez. Yeah, like being a reactionary is incredibly easy. You just see any change starting to happen in the status quo, which is natural, really, because I do feel like we steadily move towards certain directions in many cases, and see it as a bad thing. And then all you need to do is just like piss and moan about how horrible it is. Supply the question I was asked. I think discussions of the bell curve are very skewed towards condemning the intemperate criticism of it. That's fine, but let's not forget that racists and bigots jumped on it to support their most extreme views, and Murray never urged moderation nor distanced himself from the bigots. Bullshit. The book distanced itself from them from beginning to end. With respect, Dr. Murray, 4 pages in a book doesn't change the fact that you completely endorse James Watson's flawed interpretation of your book. People who have to deal with black employees find this not true. That guy seems like an interesting person to... Being a right-wing grifter seems so easy. Yeah, like, I mean, part of me at some point, and maybe this will happen, I'm not saying it will happen, but I would like to compare starting a grift as a reactionary and see how quickly the tide turns. Disingenuous, that's the word, and intellectually dishonest. That's it. Thank you. Intellectually bankrupt, all those words are perfect. Yes. Almost all Islamophobic tropes fall immediately apart once you realize Islam is congregationalist rather than Presbyterian or heavily centralized. I don't know enough about theology to be able to agree with that, but it seems sound to me. So I'll say yes. Oh no, the Christians are... Please don't get eaten. Do you believe the... Remember when the left demanded divestment from South Africa, citing apartheid? China's brutal repression is on a far larger scale. Wait, are you saying that apartheid was good? The left demanded divestment from South Africa, citing apartheid. So you're saying that they shouldn't have done that? I'm not going to divulge what my grifter name would be. Then you'll know it's me. Cav can just start saying that Britain was keeping all those artifacts safe from the barbarians wishing to destroy them, and Prager will have a job offer. They just hate China. Yeah. Which is really interesting to me, because I feel like China, you know, like the Chinese administration and US conservatives actually have a lot in common. You know what I mean? There was this I think I've mentioned it on stream before, but my a friend of just remembered he passed away a few years ago, like really young. But anyway, a friend of mine who worked for the American Embassy in Japan, in Osaka, he was telling me he used to live in the American Embassy. It's not a dormitory. It was like this special, like, gated community for American Embassy employees. It was amazing. Like, I visited his house and like everything was American sized in Japan. So like he had a full-size fridge and an oven and like a big table. It was just incredible. Anyway, but he was telling me about how like back in 2006 16, I guess it was. I can't, my sense of time is not very good. Oh no, I've been drinking and I'm gonna burp. I'll try to keep it to myself. Anyway, when he was living there in Osaka, like every so often there would be this van that would drive past, which had Japanese nationalists in it, and they had like a loudspeaker, and they would say like stuff about you know, Americans being bad, and you know, they should withdraw from Japan and blah 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 blah, which, you know, I think they have some points in terms of like US withdrawing from particularly Okinawa, given that Okinawa didn't really have a choice in the matter. But you know, doing it for Japanese nationalist reasons. But then 2016, I'm pretty sure he had a dishwasher as well. He did have a dishwasher. Oh my god, I remember the first time I went to his place, he like cooked me a pizza from scratch, and it was so good. And it was big because the oven was like America size, so they could make a pizza that was American size. Anyway, so what was I gonna say? Barracks. Sorry, I just saw that comment. Anyway, then 2016, Trump got elected, and the Japanese nationalists drove by again in their van, and of course you're expecting them to be like, you know, condemning the workers there as usual, but instead it was like, Amerikajin, omedetou gozaimasu, like congratulations Americans, and just saying that Trump's awesome, and oh, we're so happy for you. So I was like, oh, okay, that's something nice to say about something really horrible. You're telling me Japanese conservatives don't care about the indigenous people of Okinawa? Yeah, I'm sad to say, no, they don't really care about Okinawa. Anyway, so let's keep looking for quotes. This is an excellent article with a different take on farm murders in South Africa. It seems much of the dispute also has to do with stolen land claims that date back to apartheid. What do you think of this farmer's statements? You are a very intelligent person. Don't get bullied by the herd. Do your own investigation about South Africa. Here's a message I made for real Donald Trump. Alright. The more I've looked at it, I don't know what's happening. Is many legit sources like this YouTube video and the Wikipedia page. Every potential target is at risk in South Africa because that place is a shitload of violent crime. Okay, this is, so around 2018 is like when all the white genocide stuff is going on. Oh, see you later, RHDC95. Thanks so much for joining in and for your contributions to this. Hopefully you'll get to see the video within the next few days when I publish it, but yes. One of the only twin studies of IQ, ravens from Africa. The exceptionally low heritability is an important result. Is it though? There were so many Trump decorators in Japan, it was horrible. South African farmer stuff is the original white genocide stuff, where white farmers were supposedly being killed en masse. You know, I went on a decolonial tour of Berlin last Sunday. It was really, really interesting. I think the main thing that I got out of it was that, excuse me, like a lot of it was just looking at the street signs in the African quarter of Berlin, which is not named because it has a lot of African migrants, but it's named because there is... Have you noticed that my stream hasn't gone offline at all? What's up with that? Anyway, What was I saying? Oh yeah, so it wasn't a place for African migrants. It was just a place to pay tribute to the German colonies. And so we were looking at the place names, like the street names, where the street names came from. We were looking at the names of some of the small garden organizations in there, which make reference to the colonial, like nostalgic reference to the colonial regime, which are still up there, that sort of thing. And one of the things that the tour guide was saying, which is something that I wasn't aware, was that after Germany had to give up the colony, their colonies, following World War One, which some argue is related to why World War II happened, a lot of German people continued to stay there. And also the wealth of the nation got passed over to the South Africa, like the Afrikaans, people who immigrated there. So at least in Namibia, I can't remember the statistic that she gave, and I'd have to look it up to verify anyway, but a significant portion of the wealth in Namibia is in white hands, despite their minority status. And it had an impact during COVID where I can't remember again, sorry, my memory's so bad, but apparently there was a scheme to give vaccinations, COVID vaccinations to African countries and global South countries that weren't able to or weren't allowed to produce their own COVID vaccines. And Namibia didn't make the cut because it was considered to be too rich, like the GDP was too high to benefit from that scheme. But when you take into account that the majority population is Black and doesn't have the wealth, then it sort of makes you think, wow, that's a little bit unfair, huh? Like the fact that the Namibian population missed out on this scheme to help get them COVID vaccines and deal with COVID because of a minority that holds all the power and the wealth. It's made me think a lot. But yeah, there you go. Sorry, let me have a look at the chat. So where's the bit about Zimbabwe? Anytime there is talk of farm seizures, Zimbabwe gets dredged up into the conversation, which as a Zimbabwean sucks the soul from my very bones. I didn't realize that. I need to look that up. Are you still in Zimbabwe now, incidentally? Like, is the internet better than it is in like Germany? Because like, oh, you come to like a European country and you're like, oh, everything's gonna be great here, and then like everything's shit. Like, what did you do with all that shit you stole? You just put it in museums. Then you anyway. So the South African thing was basically because a white farm owner killed a black farm laborer, and pro-apartheid groups in South Africa spun it into a You're back in England. Oh, I see. Enjoying Brexit, I'm sure. Spun it into a self-defense case, and neo-Nazis outside South America spun that into white farmers are being killed 100,000 every year. Okay, right. I would not be surprised. So it was Zimbabwe also accused of being a place that was like committing white genocide or something like that. I was only familiar with the South African thing, so it's an interesting lead. If I think someone mentioned Rhodesia as well, so for the purpose of my video or future videos, I need to look into the histories of these countries, I think. Yes, commiserations for being back in England. Why does America not do airstrikes in Africa where Islamist terrorists burn entire villages? A top Australian official said this week that white farmers... I recognize that head. Oh, gee. If any of you are wondering His name is Peter Dutton, and he's a shithead. That's all you need to know. So, what else have I got? You know, I think I've hopefully got enough that I can sort of make something, but at the same time, wait. For all its flaws, the Communist Revolution taught Chinese women to dream. Imagine the New York Times beginning an article comparing prosperity of Black people in Africa and the US with, for all its flaws, slavery. But that doesn't make sense because, like, I mean, like, obviously it doesn't make sense because it's intellectually obtuse. But, like, you know, if we were going to compare that, you know, like, slavery obviously was made specifically to exploit Black people in the US context. So if we were to apply the same thing here, communism would have been made explicitly to exploit Chinese women, which, from what I've been reading about in terms of, like, communist China, it's certainly, like, there are some issues with the way communism was enacted in China, and I'm not going to say, like, I'm still not really sold on communism as a concept, if only because I don't think that people are capable of not turning into despotism in these situations. But, like, everything that I've heard from people, like, particularly women who were sort of around during a lot of these reformations, or who are, you know, children of them, that's, like, the one thing that they're sort of, like, happy for. They're like, oh yeah, there was some shit here, it was pretty bad. I will say, though, that the position of women has, you know, like, during that time they were given a lot more autonomy than they had previously been given, and a lot more opportunity to do things. And that's not me defending the Chinese communist regime, and shouldn't be interpreted that way, but I think it is an interesting point that in terms of how women were treated before and after, it doesn't mean that the regime was good, but there was certainly something about that regime which changed the role of women, or at least the way that women were perceived in China, from, I don't know, everything that I've seen anyway. But yeah, like, that doesn't make sense. Like, for that comment, like, maybe the article itself is debatable, but, like, him making that comparison doesn't make any sense, because communism wasn't made explicitly to exploit women. It's become the darling of white supremacists mainly due to its obscurity. It's maddening. Zimbabwe was Rhodesia. Oh, okay, so that's... okay, that makes sense. It's strange how English-speaking people get upset about Dutch/German-speaking people potentially losing their colonial era privileges. Very strange. Hashtag colonialism. Communism does have this problem with being based on Enlightenment era paternalism. Yeah, totally. Like, you know, I'm not going to defend. I'm not one of those people who thinks that, well, okay, we're back. Yes, I agree with you, Umberkin. There are some problems that it really needs to reckon with. And I do wish that that would be acknowledged more, especially by people who are not in China, who are in the West, who are really, like, fawning over the Chinese regime right now, which is very explicitly capitalist and not communist, despite the name of the title. Of the political party that is running China right now. I don't understand why that's not... It's like saying that National Socialism was a socialist movement. You know what I mean? It's just silly. Like, people just put things in their names. Names don't mean anything. German internet does hate my streams. I don't know why. I'm great. So I just found this tweet here. I'm trying to imagine a British family in colonial Africa without servants, not even missionaries. And I don't know what that original tweet was, but oh gee, I wish I knew. What the hell is this old man going on about? Sorry, that was a bit ageist of me. As someone who's, you know, like steadily approaching the age of 40, I should probably start to cut down on the ageism there, lest it be used against me. Woodward and Bernstein. What are you talking about? Israel now denies entry to an advocate of boycotting Israel. No. No. Africa, Min, the bonkers. Oh, God, all this white genocide garbage. Trying to provide internet service to poor people in Africa. It's a noble quest. Homegrown terrorists from Islamic background, many from North Africa. Jeez, I hate racists. Why are racists so emboldened? I mean, to be fair, I'm very much of the camp that it's much better to be openly racist without structural power. You know, like I think there should be structures in place to deal with that, but at the same time, just on a personal note, I would rather know if someone is racist than be wondering. Not that you know, people can't be casually racist and whatever, but like in terms of extremism, I'd rather know if someone's like a complete Nazi. Yeah, honesty is good, even if it's bad. Despite being a musky billionaire, Xi Jinping isn't bourgeoisie because he's not a woman. Well, it isn't the Roadrunner, it's the CIA's wily hiring. Handcuffs thinking they're anarchists, yes. All right, so I think I've got a bunch of stuff here, which is fantastic. So let me show you some of my favorite parts of my video at the moment. Just to give you an idea, it's mostly done. You can see that mostly populated. The blue bits here are the things that we've been looking up today. Besides this one, I think I need to get. I'll need to look at some news articles for that. But besides that, these brown bits here are animatics that I'm going to make, and I may do a stream where I'm drawing them, because I'll be drawing them on my laptop, so it would need to be a separate stream. Just kind of like my problematic people video and my demisexual video as well. I'm so sorry. Excuse me. Yeah, it makes it easier to know who to punch. This software is Adobe Premiere Pro. So it's relatively simple. It's very expensive though. What I've heard is that every year, around the time that you're going to have to pay, if you go and say that you're going to unsubscribe because it's too expensive, then they'll give you a discount for the next year. And then at the end of that year, you do the same thing. So you can basically get like 50% off, which is like, I hate Adobe. It's really extortionate. Subscription fees are the worst, especially like I think they charge over 500 Australian dollars for 1 year. Messed up. Anyway, so I want to show you my here we go, my Winston Churchill bit. I'm very happy with that. Okay.
Decolonization does not end the moment a colonized nation is declared to be independent and physically withdrawn from. And I have to say, trust a British dictionary to even vaguely imply that it does.
Well, we're no longer actively stealing from them, so that's a job well done, lads. Carry on, carry on.
The major English language dictionaries are no...
It is Cattoll's level of extortion. Adobe stuff is very hard to legally acquire. I agree. But yes, I had a lot of fun, just like very, very discreetly putting some honks in here, especially around the Winston Churchill. I hope you appreciate my like high skill at it seems like he's really talking. You know, like let's watch it again and see if you can tell whether or not, because like it's actually just a still photo, and what I've done is over the still photo, I have just like cut out the mouth. So it seems like his mouth is moving. It seems like he's talking. But actually, it's just the one picture. It's just alternating between the still picture and the approximation of his open mouth. I don't know if you spotted that, but yeah, that was what I did there. So let's have a look at it again and see if you can see what I did now.
That it does.
Well, we're no longer actively stealing from them, so that's a job well done, lads. Carry on, carry on.
The major English language dictionaries are notorious.
Yeah. So I know it's pretty impressive, but yes, that's what I've been up to. I got a bunch, like, one thing that I really love about editing videos, and it's something that I really hope to carry forward with me as I do more of this, like, social consciousness stuff, is just as you're making the video, you just sort of see little opportunities to be a little bit silly. So just having the little honk noise at the end of this.
Carry on.
The major English language...
That's the honk from Untitled Goose Game, for those of you who might be curious. I also have some honking for when I show the word, the H word.
If we look at the Merriam-Webster dictionary definitions for the N-word...
Wait, why isn't that visible? Where's it gone? Okay, well, it's not there.
Dictionary
That's fine.
definitions for the N-word versus the H-word here. The same language is used to describe them. Insulting and contemptuous.
Yes, the honk might just become your signature. I really hope so. I like honking. Yeah, and like I wasn't expecting to put in Rule Britannia in this particular section, but as I was editing it, I was like, oh, this is such a perfect place for a Rule Britannia.
Australia, for instance, was made a colony of the United Kingdom when England went there and decided it was. Of course, there's more involved than just
Yeah. Twitch gonna ban you for using the H word. Yeah, totally. I probably deserve it. Yes. So there's lots of honks here and there. I think there's like there's at least 3 honks in this video. If you can be particularly eagle-eared. Eagle-eared? Do eagles have good hearing? I don't think so. They have like little holes in their heads where their ears are meant to be. Excuse me. But yeah, anyway, if you listen carefully, at least 3 incidences of honking in this video. Sound travels better underwater. That's true. Bat ear. That's what I was looking for. Thank you. What's that? Oh, that's my lovely little animation I've got going there. That's clever. But yeah, it's coming along really well. It's something I've been putting off for the longest time because it's like I hate doing 101 videos. I hate the idea of doing like a basic primer on something which, like I want to talk about. It might be related to my ADHD. Like it's not a fun video to make because I'm doing the basics. What I'm really interested in is like all the high level stuff, like the nuanced stuff where we're looking at how decolonization applies to museums and how it applies to like world heritage and how it applies to tourism and things like that. But yeah, obviously before I do that kind of stuff, it's most of my audience, I'm assuming, you know, will need to at least know what my definition of decolonization is. So this is what I have to do. But yeah, that's partially why I've been putting it off for so long. But I'm really excited at the prospect that once this video is out, then I'll have a lot more freedom to actually start making the videos that I really want to make, alongside the Jim Carrey Fund and all my media related stuff. But like, I really want to get into this stuff. I think that decolonization is just such an interesting topic, but it's also such an important topic. Like, I mean, you know, we've just been looking through all this garbage online of like absolute cretins who don't actually know or care anything about what decolonization is or what it could be, and they're just interested in getting clicks. And you know, you need people to be sort of like providing a counterpoint to this. I haven't seen enough of the I don't know, of the nuanced stuff. There's a lot of, oh, okay, let's try and target Nazis, or let's try and target like the alt-right or whatever, which I think is valuable. But I think that, I mean, personally, my personal opinion is that it's the structural stuff and like the mediocre, like the mediocrity of bigotry, which is really the most harmful. I want to attack the moderates. Which means that my videos are probably not going to have as wide an audience as the people who go after Nazis, because it's easy to laugh at Nazis. Whereas this kind of stuff makes you reflect on yourself and, you know, the things that you take for granted, which, you know, it's not particularly pleasant to watch. But yeah, me walking into Buckingham Palace seems empty enough. I guess it's mine now. Britain, oi, 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 who owns this land? No one gets its ours then. No one gets its ours then. Disregarding the people who already live there and will definitely have something to say. You got dibs on the throne? Please, take the throne. The guy sitting on there is like super old. Actually, that reminds me. Barbecuery. I don't know how to spell it. It'll appear. No! Why use that? Okay. Oh! I need to... What? What the fuck? Why isn't it the top link? Okay, maybe it's been removed from YouTube for racism. There's this amazing film which you really have to see. Why is Bill Skarsgård mentioned? Okay. This is an algorithm thing because I'm explicitly searching for this satirical film presenting an alternate universe if Aboriginal people were the ones to discover Australia, which was inhabited by white people. I just drank a lot of alcohol. I needed to. Okay. What's it? Why isn't it appearing? I'll just look at barbecue area wiki or film and hopefully I'll find it. This is like, we're watching. Oh, here we go. Barbecue area. Okay, I may have been spelling it incorrectly. No, I think I was... Oh, no, here it is. Okay. So, we're gonna have a little watch party of the beginning of this documentary because it's just like it relates to what you were saying about like going and taking over the throne. Please enjoy. Designers.
What do you call this place?
It's a barbecue area.
Barbecue area? They call this barbecue area. Nice native name. Colorful. I like it.
So, that is this film. Anyway, I think that's really funny. Like, what do you call this? It's a barbecue area. Oh, I like it. This place is now a barbecue area. It's very, very good. I really, really recommend you watch it. You can see it for free on YouTube. And I don't know. I'm not sure that I've seen a satirical document, like a mockumentary, which is quite so cutting. Like it really sort of mirrors the relationship between Aboriginal people and European Australians, and this sort of like, you know, like normally it's kind of cringy, I think, if people do the old switcheroo without changing certain things, but in this case, 1986, I don't think anything has been quite as clever about dealing with some of the, you know, horrible parts of Australian history. But yes, go. I'm gonna paste the name here. Decades later, the barbecue area opens near there. Oh, gee. I mean, like, there should really be more attention put on this film, I think, because, I don't know, I need more of that kind of content. It's very, very funny. Anyway, so I think that's probably as much work as I can do today. Also, I'm a little bit tipsy. So, should I finish off or should I read through an Indian comic? I kind of want to read a diamond comic.